Well, good morning, Easter people, although is today Pentecost? I think it might be Pentecost Sunday. So here we are. So yesterday morning I played Heaven Songs, and what I couldn't tell you was that my Aunt Jeannette died yesterday morning at 5:02 a.m. And I was exchanged notes with Nancy Creekmore later in the day, and she said, I thought you might have been playing Heaven Songs in memory of Jeannette, and she was right. But, you know, I think you just do not post anything on social media, particularly about a death, until the close, immediate family does. So yeah, I played Heaven Songs for Aunt Jeannette yesterday. But one thing I found out, she had her own Wikipedia page. I Googled her yesterday and came up with a Wikipedia page for her. So, Jeannette Brooks Priebe, she was born on July 4th, 1937. And I should also say Jeannette Brooks Sharon Priebe, because my cousins Angie and Mike, I want to honor their father as well, because Jeannette and Forrest were a couple for many years. And Forrest going to seminary in Louisville is what led Jeannette to these great successes that I'm going to talk about. So she instituted the first affirmative action hiring program for the Louisville metro area public service personnel. She directed the integration of the Louisville Metro Police Department and the Louisville Division of Fire. She devised a new method of hiring applicants where that they didn't just look at the top applicants, but they looked at everyone, assuring that African Americans and women would be considered. 4 years before this, there had been a class action lawsuit filed on behalf of the one African American employee. She is quoted as saying, "Unless you're allowed to find the most qualified people, it is a literal misuse of tax money." She was the first woman to serve as the director of the Civil Service Board in Louisville, Kentucky. She also worked for Mitch McConnell when he was a judge before he became a senator. So Aunt Jeannette was a woman who, at a time, she did these things at a time when things were changing for women. And she was a trailblazer. And, you know, this also made me think about Big Mother, because fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So I never understood why Big Mother named a calf she bottle fed Ladybird. This was back in the 1960s. But I do now. So Big Mother supported the civil rights movement because she had seen how her father treated the Negro sharecroppers. When Big Daddy died, her maid Margaret told her, "Get up, Miss Catherine, you've got to keep living." And Margaret helped Big Mother through Big Daddy's death. And 3 or 4 years later, Big Mother returned the favor and took care of Margaret through her end of life as she battled cancer. Two strong women, role models for Aunt Jeannette. One more thing that Big Mother did. In the early 1970s, I'm calling her Tsunami Catherine, because she rolled over First Baptist Church when she started wearing pantsuits to church. Now that was radical in the 1970s. But I think about Big Mother, and I think about Aunt Jeannette, and I think about my own penchant for pushing the limits and speaking truth to power. And I'm very proud to be their relative. So anyway, I do also want to say about Aunt Jeannette, she was the first person in my life to use words that I had to look up in the dictionary. She used to, I remember one time driving down Mecklenburg Road, coming back from the Sharon farm. She would honk her horn going up the hill so that the people on the other side of the hill would know we were coming. She was the first person I came out to in the 1980s, the first person in the family that I came out to. And in 1998, I called her from a hotel room in Union Square in San Francisco when I was having a personal and professional crisis. And I got down on my knees and she prayed over and for me. So she will be missed. And today the songs that I want to play are dedicated to her and to Big Mother and also to my mother, because she's a strong woman in her own right. But I'm going to play Serve the Lord with Gladness and Our Best. And these are two songs from the Broadman hymnal. I think they speak well to a life well lived. Our Best is one that just I came across it a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been in my head the whole time. So, hear you the Master's call, give me your best. For be it great or small, that is his test. Do then the best you can, not for reward, not for the praise of man, but for the Lord. And what I love the chorus, our talents may be few, these may be small, but unto him is due our best, our all. And serve the Lord with gladness. Aunt Jeannette did that. I try to. Serve the Lord with Gladness from 1931 and Our Best from 1912. Our talents may be few, these may be small, but unto him is due our best, our all. Thank you, Aunt Jeannette, for being a light in my life and a light in so many lives, and for changing the world. And each of us has the opportunity to change the world every day. And it may be small, it may be big, but be the light in somebody else's life. Shine brightly and speak truth to power and stand up for right. And peace be with you and grace to you. And thank you again for listening. And I appreciate it very much. And cheers.